mayor's office.
That was perfect.
Thank you. And whenever you are ready, you can go ahead and get started.
Well, I feel like I've been abandoned. I'm going to need Kristen and Clifton to look bigger and like more people. Good afternoon, everyone. Madam Chair, members of the committee, and members of the Metro Council. I am Marjorie Pomeroy Wallace, Chief of Staff to Mayor Freddie O'Connell, and I appreciate this opportunity to be with you today. Just 8 months ago, I was honored to be invited to join Mayor O'Connell as he took office as the 10th mayor of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County. It's been a fast-paced 8 months. And as promised on the campaign trail, Mayor O'Connell hit the ground running on day one. Right away, Chief Development Officer Bob Mendez worked with the East Bank team to negotiate a master developer agreement for 30 acres of Metro-owned property on the east side of the Cumberland River. Bob worked to deliver on the community's and the mayor's priority for a deal to build a new Nashville neighborhood, one that includes childcare, churches, local businesses, good jobs, and homes that real Nashvillians can afford and will be able to afford for 99 years into the future. This body recognized that deliberate and detailed work with a unanimous approval of the master developer agreement for the East Bank. And for that, we thank you. As recommended by the How Nashville Moves Transition Committee, Mayor O'Connell quickly initiated the process to build a transportation improvement plan. We call it Choose How You Move, an all-access pass to sidewalks, signals, service, and safety, because the mayor wanted a program that has something for all Nashvillians, no matter how you travel. Our transportation planning lead, Michael Briggs, and Director of Sustainability, Kendra Abkowitz, initiated 2 advisory committees, a technical committee and a community committee, to help guide the development of the Choose How You Move program. Michael and Kendra worked with experts at WeGo, at NDOT, the Planning Commission, and the Mayor's Office to review the 70 studies and plans developed over the last 10 plus years. Those plans were built from more than 66,000 ideas from Nashvillians. We gathered more feedback from Metro Council and from advisory committees, and we released our ideas one by one to the community for review through a series of concept maps. Then on April 19th, we were proud to watch as Mayor O'Connell delivered the Choose How You Move Transportation Improvement Plan. And just last week, we cleared another milepost when the independent audit team approved our plan of finance. We're now on pace to deliver to you, the Metro Council, in the coming weeks. To deliver the Choose How You Move plan to the Metro Council in the coming weeks, which is the next step towards putting this choice before Nashvillians on the November 5th ballot. I cannot understate the opportunity this program brings to catch up on the transportation needs of our community. We've never had a more ideal opportunity to modernize how we move around the county, no matter how we choose to move. While those 2 big things were moving forward, we were also advancing the core foundations of our government, a capital spending plan and an operations budget. When Mayor O'Connell was sworn in, we had 126 vacancies on boards and commissions. That was almost 20% of the seats. Thank you, Councilmember Allen, for that response. That was almost 20% of the seats on the bodies that are so important to our city. We've already reduced that number by more than half, and you've approved 131 appointments to the boards and commissions since this Metro Council was sworn in. And it's not just the quantity, it's the quality. These volunteers from our shared constituencies are qualified and dedicated, and they reflect our Nashville. Our active board members and commissioners are almost exactly 50% women, and Black and Hispanic Nashvillians now compose 33% and 5% of our board and commission membership. As we thoughtfully vet residents to serve our resident-led bodies, we continue to prioritize diversity, qualified candidates, and appreciate your partnership in this effort. Then we have the capital spending plan, which focused on our shared priorities: schools, neighborhoods, transportation, and customer service, with investments all over the county into new parks, new fire stations, new elementary schools, improving libraries, a new Nashville Youth Center for Empowerment, and an expansion of the Metro heavy fleet. And while it may not include a lot of groundbreakings or ribbon cuttings, the CSP did something really important. It invested more than $100 million in deferred maintenance, which included upgrades to parks, libraries, fire stations, greenways, plus planning and designs for new replacement facilities at public health, libraries, and the Metro Southeast campus. And that now leads us to the FY25 operating budget. When Mayor O'Connell addressed the council on May 1st to present this proposed budget, he talked about doing what many Nashvillians do. Sit down at the table together, take stock of where we are, have the tough conversations, and propose a balanced budget. Even in a lean year, this budget does more than keep the lights on. It invests in our public schools and in affordable housing and makes sure we can take care of the people who are caring for our community every day, our Metro employees. We proposed a 3.5% COLA increase. This would increase the lowest hourly rate for our full-time general government employees to $20 per hour. We also proposed 3% merit for qualifying employees. We also asked simultaneously, we also asked departments to join us in tightening our belts a bit. This budget proposes a 1.4% overall savings. Individual departments will be asked to work with OMB to fulfill a specific budget adjustment savings plan in order to accomplish the recommended savings. And in the mayor's office, we've identified a full 1.4% in savings in our budget when compared with last fiscal year. While we have not yet completed building our team, it took some time to evaluate the available funds in the budget that we inherited. I'm proud of how quickly we've built a functioning office, given the 10 days we had to transition. And still, I believe we have the right organizational structure to accomplish the goals set out by Mayor O'Connell, and that this budget will allow us to execute on those priorities. We've evaluated every position and every salary in the mayor's office and made adjustments. Each position has a title that describes the work the holder is doing and a salary that values their efforts. We are building a team that prioritizes engagement, communication, and working with our neighborhoods, our residents, our businesses, our elected leaders, and our partners. And all credit goes to the mayor for the vision, and credit also goes to this team for already delivering on his vision. Our team is dedicated, smart, efficient, hardworking, reflective of and hailing from all over the county. They're joyful, collaborative, creative, and thoughtful public servants looking for innovative ways to support our city's greatest resource, our people. We aim to utilize every available dollar without making an additional request to address the needs of all Nashvillians, but particularly those in underserved and/or disadvantaged communities, by enhancing and increasing our outreach to residents and increasing accessibility to departmental services and information. We've delivered a lot for Nashville in the first 8 months of the O'Connell administration, and we are excited about what lies ahead. And with that, I am pleased to take your questions about the mayor's office budget.
Thank you so very much, and thank you for outlining some of that amazing work that that y'all have done since y'all have been in office in this very short time. And we appreciate all the support and everything y'all do to keep the city going. So
I have to admit, I wrote it with 7 months because time flies and you don't realize how much time has passed. I had to amend it.
No worries. Colleagues, do we have any questions about the mayor's budget? Councilmember Allen, you're recognized.
Thank you. Two questions. One, because this is going to come up in another department, do the mayor's staff members pay for parking?
Do they pay for parking?
Yes,
They do not.
They do not. Okay. Which is good because it's expensive to do that. So I think that's.
We ask them to come and go a lot.
Yeah.
And
come and go. That's relevant. And then I think that, everybody loves everything that's in the capital spending plan. It's a big one. And just in terms of looking at our lean budget, is there any possible consideration of some of that stuff won't actually happen this year and we could make it be smaller? Or do we really think all that will fit in this year and we'll be doing another one within a year?
so I'm happy to answer any questions you have about the mayor's office budget. I would invite our
That's a
chief
different question.
operating officer, if you would like her to respond to a question about this.
I'm always
ESP.
happy to have Kristen answer my questions.
And you are recognized, if you don't mind introducing yourself.
Sure. Hi, I'm Kristen Wilson, Chief of Operations and Performance, and I'm actually going to rely a little bit on my finance partners here as well, because at the end of the day, what we're we try to be very thoughtful about with the capital spending plan is those are capital projects that are assigned a definition outside of operations for infrastructure and other needs. And though I realize some of those don't happen overnight, the reality is if you go back to the CSP, there are a lot of projects in there that are multi-phased, multi-year, and to hold off on them for a year or two often can greatly increase the cost of the projects and or interrupt them at points in time which are challenging, let's just say, for their successful execution. So I would not recommend, and I suspect my finance colleagues are at least not here, blurring the definition on between capital and operating to any degree possible.
And then just because I think it's very complicated, I mean, we use commercial paper to fund things until we get to a point where it makes sense to issue bonds. And then when a bond is issued, it becomes a debt service item on our operating budget. And so can you just talk a little bit about the time lag of when that actually hits our budget? And that may be a Michelle Bosch question, I don't know.
That was going to be my statement. Yes, that is a Michelle Bosch question. And what we do is we get the information from her of when that will hit and what the timing is from the debt schedule. And then that's what we put into the budget. But as Kristen stated, from the capital piece and the timing of it, we have to identify those as they come up. So then that way we can start to plan multi-year, when those budgets will occur.
Gotcha. Okay, so what we see in this year's budget, operating-wise, in terms of our debt service payment, is based on what we've issued so far. And the time will come when another thing happens, but that's been budgeted for, so.
That is
All right,
correct.
I'm just looking for ways we can deal with some of the things that have come up in other departments. So thank you for passing me on to the right person. I appreciate it.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Council Lady Allen. Colleagues, does anyone else have a question? Council Lady Evans, you're recognized.
I have to ask a question. I think it's required. But I was looking at the questionnaire information, and of course, I know from my experience that you have the vacancies in community safety and health. Do you have any encouraging words that those positions are going to be filled maybe this year?
My anticipation is they will be filled ideally by the end of June.
Okay.
Basically, I didn't have a full grasp of what we had available until all of the previous administration's employees had left the office. There was a payout. We got that information when the March budget closed. That happened in the middle of April. You may recall that the middle of April, we also launched transit. Then the budget was already in lock, and the budget came out, and then we went to state of Metro. So my active hiring has been slowed for the last month, but I'm in the process of filling those positions now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you, Council Member Evans. Do we have any additional questions? I have two questions I believe will be brief questions. On the at a glance page on 102, it shows that you all went down from 7.3 million to 6.6 million. So we know everyone had to tighten up a little bit, and it looks like y'all have some reductions there. Can you speak to what the reductions are in y'all's budget?
I'd be happy to look at it completely, but it should have been just the 1.4%. And then we also, the only modification that I've requested was the $100,000 for music, film, and entertainment to be moved to an admin account.
Let me ask that a little differently.
Okay.
Will constituents see a reduction of services? Like, what are you all doing to actually save the money? That's the question I'm getting.
Will constituents see a reduction in services? Ideally, no, because the positions that we're filling are more implementation. So one of the things that we did during the transition is to talk with the previous administration about the services they were offering, how they were engaging with the community. And one of the things that we found was there were a lot of people leading and not a lot of people assisting in implementing programs and services. And so what we've done is reorganize and make an investment in that. So no, there will be more people doing more work for less dollars. That's my goal.
Thank you so much. Colleagues, any other questions? Seeing none, that will wrap up this hearing from the mayor's office. Again, Ms. Pomeroy Wallace, thank you so much for your presentation today, and thank you for the work that you all do.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And colleagues, with that, we're going to roll into our next presentation. We have MTA We Go here with us today, and we have with him. You all come on.